Welcome to my parlor. Welcome, traveler, to the Hidden Corner Finds. I am Joanne, and this is my humble store. Pull up a chair, stay a while, make yourself at home. What? Oh, you want to know what I'm selling? Everything and anything. In short, I have a passion for Ugh, why did it just bleep me? All I said was I have a passion for picking, I said. Yeesh. You can't say anything on YouTube these days without this censorship. Anyways, as I was saying, I have a passion for picking. For me, there is nothing more satisfying than finding a unique and forgotten item and uniting it with someone who will really appreciate it for years to come. Whether it's a soapstone carving, an old book, or simply a mug to make you laugh, I try and find something for everyone. My goal is to make you a confident buyer. Older items often have a lifetime of stories to tell. I strive to describe the good as well as the bumps and bruises they've experienced along the way. It's important that the pictures reflect what you will receive. To that end, I always encourage questions and will do my best to respond as quick as possible. Appreciate you stopping by the store. If you can't find what you're looking for, please don't hesitate to contact me. I'm always looking for new ideas and will keep an eye out for your item in my travels.
God damn it! Honey, what the f*** happened to my action figure collection?
Whoops, gotta go. Bye.
Hello and welcome back to Figurine Friday with Johnny Tiger. This was supposed to be a Toys Thursday, but by the time I finished taking all the photos, it was too late to put everything together, so we're doing Figurine Friday. Today is December 6th, 2024, and opening the show, we have one of these Mattel Jurassic Park T-Rex action figures. And are we going to be looking at dinosaurs today? Yeah, yes, we are. But we're not going to be just looking at any old T Rex, not even the gigantic, colossal T Rex. No, today we're going to be looking at a high end action figure, or at least for me, it's high end action figure. One of the rare pleasures where I really splurge on something that's quite pricey. I got this figure we are going to be looking at today. I got this figure last year, but honestly, it kind of scares me. So it took me quite a while before I would sit down and open it. And now I kind of regret it because if I opened it last year, it would probably be the figure of the year. Like it even outmatched my Blade Master Wang Tiger Warrior figure. That's how impressed I am with this dinosaur we'll be looking at today. But before any more talk, let's take a quick look at the packaging of Bloodblade, the T-Rex King, made by Axie Toys. I've had this box sitting on my workstation for days before I finally mustered up the nerve to open it. This is going to be a bittersweet moment. On the one hand, I'm really looking forward to opening this guy up, but on the other hand, I'm really scared. You guys will know why when we look at the accessories. Inside the box, there's a card showing the character bio. Not really well written, but it's okay. Give you an idea of who this guy is. And on the back of the box, we see that there's three different color variations we get. Black one, the red one, and the violet one, which is like the exclusive version. So, before we actually get into the character bio and take a deeper look at the character and all that stuff, I want to give a shout out to Big Bad Toy Store, which is where I bought this figure from. Now, I mentioned this before. One of the problem with being a blind collector is when before you buy a figure, you don't know what it looks like. And in the case of this guy, there's three versions. The violet version, which was marked as a like a special exclusive version, and then a black, and then a red version. Now, there was a mistake in Big Bad Toy Store's listing where in the description of the violet version, it was said to be 12 inches tall, while the other two, were only like 9 inches tall. So obviously, when I was ordering, since I couldn't see the picture to see if they really were different, I thought, well, for $30 more, I might as well order the 12-inch one, much bigger. Uh, and then, when the figures started to come out, I saw some uh, YouTube video reviews, other guys already reviewing, some of them reviewing the exclusive version, some of them reviewing the regular version. And uh, from what I gathered from the reviews, they were exactly the same figure, size-wise the same, everything the same, just the colors different. So needless to say, I was quite annoyed, and I kind of didn't think that Big Bad Toy Store would acknowledge my problem, because this is one of those more premium figure where you have to put down a down payment, and if they always say it's non-refundable down payment and blah 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 blah, but just just to give it a try, I called Big Bad Toy Store. I said, hey, I'm totally blind. And when I ordered this figure, I ordered the exclusive version because your description said it's 12 inches tall. But from what I can gather from YouTube videos, it's the same size as the other two. It's not bigger. So can I possibly change my pre-order to just one of the regular guys? And to my surprise and amazement, the fellow at Big Battle Store was very understanding and changed my pre-order over without any penalty or any issue like that. So, kudos, Big Battle Store, for customer service and solving problem and promoting accessibility for blind people and willing to help out in this regard. This is one reason why I've used Big Bad Toy Store as my main source of shopping for action figures. Even though they're in US and I'm in Canada, uh, I've been using Big Bad Toy Store ever since I think 2004. So 20 years I've been buying things from them, and there have been many times where customer service has been really great. Uh, there have been a couple of times where it's not so great, but I would say probably 95% of the time that I've dealt with them, the experience has been very positive. Another story I'll tell you guys about Big Battle Toy Store, and this is not a video just to uh, kiss their butts because they are not even sponsoring my video. But I think give credit where credit's due. When I first started buying from Big Bad Toy Store, most of their listings have very little textual information, very little description. I really had no idea what I was buying most of the time. So I wrote to the customer support. I said, hey, I'm a blind collector and I buy from you guys quite often, but every time it's like a crapshoot. I have no idea what I'm buying because you have no description saying how big the figure is and how tall, what they come with, and stuff like that. Is there any chance for you guys to fix that? And I was thinking, they have thousands of figures on their site. They were never going to change them just on my say so. But hey, 20 years down the road, you go and look at their descriptions and look at on every figure. There's at least a list of accessories that they come with, and give you an idea of how big they are. So they did. I'm not going to say they changed their layout because of my say so, but uh, I like to think that me bringing that to their attention did do some good. Anyway, we've been looking at this profile view of Bloodblade, the T-Rex King, facing off with the Mattel T-Rex um, long enough. So let's cut to some photos of the accessories, and then we'll come back and I'll tell you guys the backstory of Bloodblade. depending on which version of this figure you choose to get, if you get the basic one, I think it's like 120 bucks or so, and the deluxe one with all the armor, like 150. And then if you want the exclusive violet version, it's like 180 to 200. But it is a what I would call high-end, kind of pricey action figure, especially at this scale. But once you open the box, you would be amazed at or shocked at how many pieces it has. Like it comes with a full set of armor that's all removable, all the decoration that you can use to decorate the armor, three different weapons that can be combined together, two additional hands, several helmet options, and yeah, like it boggles the mind how much accessory there is. I mean, this slide takes 17 photos and we haven't even gotten to the main figure yet. That is actually a lot of accessory. Like, I was honestly a bit overwhelmed. I mean, counting all the doodads and decorations and weapons, extra hands, and removable armor, we are looking at over 20 pieces, probably close to 30 pieces of things that you can take on and take off and put on this figure. Uh, that's quite mind-boggling. So, who is Bloodblade? Well, just in case you didn't get to see that little card info at the beginning of the packaging slide, and especially for those of my audience who are blind, I'm just going to do a quick recap. I mean, it's not a complicated story, and it's not a particularly well written story, but it's good enough. So, the figure is made by Axie Toys for their uh, dinosaur battlefield line. So in this dinosaur battlefield world, it's divided up to the carnivore kingdoms and the herbivore empire. From my understanding, the carnivores actually seem like the good guys, and herbivores are kind of bad guys. Or maybe there's no good guys and bad guys. Everybody just doing the best they can. Yeah, I like to think of it that way. Anyway, so Bloodblade obviously is a T-Rex. He was one of the prince of the T-Rex kingdom, the ruler of the carnivore side of things, and his dad was called Bloodkhan. And so the way things work for the T-Rex kingdom is you have to basically kill off all the other siblings before you are eligible to become emperor. At a young age, Bloodblade was sheltered by his mom, so he was kind of protected, kept away from all that brutal, bloody business of fighting for the throne until when he was 12 and his dad, Bloodkhan, died, and his older brother went ahead and killed off everybody, and Bloodblade ended up running away and went into exile. So his brother stole the kingdom from him, and his brother also made some kind of alliance with a bunch of necromancers and gained undead magical power and started turning all the dinosaurs into zombies and undead dinosaurs. Ooh, does that mean that we'll get some undead dinosaurs? I hope so. That's going to be so bloody cool if we do. Anyway, so uh, the some of the survivors went and looked for Bloodblade and they say, "Hey, you really need to come home and do something about your brother. We need you. The land need a hero right now. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. You need to come back and do the duty of a king and lead your people because your brother is turning everybody into zombies." So Bloodblade came back from exile and made alliance with the herbivore kingdom and herbivore empire. So the both sides decided to work together to fight off the evil zombie dinosaurs. Finally, they were able to defeat the evil undead dinosaurs, and Bloodblade was able to kill his brother and took the throne back. And of course, after everything was done, then things went back to normal. Carnivores wanted to kill herbivores, and herbivores wanted to kill carnivores. And so during one of those epic battles, uh, Bloodblade fought the Triceratops king of the herbivore side, and they went one on one, gangster style, with each other. And he was able to kill the Triceratops king and took his skull as a trophy. This is why we see in the photo here, Bloodblade has this Triceratops skull he's wearing on top of his helmet. That's the skull of the Triceratops king, his former friend, his former ally, and he killed him. And now he's wearing his hat. He's wearing his head as a hat. Yeah. Okay. So maybe he's not such a good guy. I don't know. So that's basically the bio of Bloodblade. He was an exiled prince. He came back, saved his people, and now he's the ruler of all the carnivores. Whew, that's a lot to say. Um, First, I'm not going to take everything off. You guys will see that in the next slide, and you already see all the individual pieces in the uh, previous video, but I want to illustrate how cool this is by showing you guys the modular style weapon. So technically it comes with three weapons. This mace, big and heavy mace, you can probably use this to uh, hammer nail with, and you have this. To other people, it would be a sword. To him, this is like a big knife. And then this, I don't know what you call this, like a brass knuckle duster, push blade, big hand sickle thing. Okay, so you get three pieces, three weapons. There's a there's a peg hole on the bottom end of each weapon, and then there's this little steel rod that inserted into the knife handle. I think that rod comes out, but I don't have a pair of pliers on me right now, and I don't want to use my teeth. It's actually a metal rod, so it's very sturdy. But I think with a pair of pliers you can pull that out and put it in any of these weapons. So what this does is it allows you to combine the weapons. So let's say we combine the knife and the mace. So now we have this big scythe sickle style weapon that look like it really lethal. Actually, I kind of like that. I kind of like this configuration. I might keep it that way actually. Uh, oh, it just came out. That little peg just came out. Um, okay, so we can also combine the hand axe thing with the mace to make one big axe, one giant axe. Okay, if Bloodblade is going after something like a troll or something really big, this is going to be very handy, right? And I can't get the peg to come out of the mace handle now, but obviously, if you want, you can combine the axe, the hand axe, and the knife to form like this wicked double-ended bladed weapon like this as well. And the other little doodads, like little spikes and bones and horns, they also peg into the end of the handle, so you can uh, have the one of these little spikes peg into, excuse the hand, peg into the end of the knife like this to give it a pommel, like a skull breaker on the pommel. Like there's so much you can customize and just peg away to your content. With this figure, you can uh, all the spikes on him. You can set it up to different arrangement. Uh, you can give him like you can take the Triceratops helmet off his head and give him regular like a battle helmet look. Speaking of all the accessories, I also want to draw attention to all these trophies and chains that hang off of him. We'll move his pet dinosaur out of the way. No, that he didn't come with a pet dinosaur. I just thought that it would be something cool for him to have. Anyway, putting that to the side, this all these chains on him, these are metal. That these are all metal. Okay, that's really cool. Now, some people I know feel that these things constantly fall off. If you find the configuration you like and you don't want them to constantly fall off, take a pair of needle nose pliers and pinch the hook shut. This, like, I'm batting them around. Hey, they're staying put. They're not coming off. Now, of course, if you do want to take them off, it's going to be a pain in the butt. But honestly, I can't see myself taking them off. Uh, I like them just the way they are. Um, the cape, this big giant cape, is fur. Like it got fur on it, and it's a really premium feeling material. The wires in the cape feel super thick. They feel like they got coat hangers inside. Actually, they're super sturdy. And the underside is this like velvety, really nice feeling. Like the material on this guy is amazing. Like I'm not even joking when I say that for $100, 100 well actually like $160 figure, it's worth it. Like just look at the actual buckles on his armor. Like all these armor come off, and these are actual working buckles. That when you are dressing and undressing this guy, it's like buckling on real armor. Okay, and there's plastic pieces attached to leather pieces attached to the buckle. It's crazy just how much is done. I believe the accessories, the armors are done by Kai Labs, and they do a lot of great outfit. I believe they do a lot of outfit for Mythic Legion, for the Four Horsemen as well. And but I have never seen figures of this scale that actually have working buckles on their armor. Uh, yeah, that really boggled my mind. Before I gush on more about this figure, let's uh, step over and look at some photos of some poses this figure can be put in, and different configuration that I'll show you guys on the photo. For a figure this size and stature, this guy moves really good. The articulation is a joy to play with. Now I wish the head and the tail have better movement, especially the tail, but I didn't have to warm this figure up at all. All the joints worked right out of the package, and swapping the hands was pretty easy, and balancing is no problem. And for a big guy, it has better articulation than anything Diamond Select or the Four Horsemen Studio come up with at this scale and size. So it's quite impressive. And once you start playing with the armor, obviously without the armor it will move better. But once you start, and I'm going to sound like McFarlane here, take the armor on, take it off, take it on, take it off, take it on, take it off. There's so many different configurations you can do with the decoration and the armor pieces that I've been playing with it for a whole week, and I'm still having so much fun with it. Now I have handled a lot of action figures, not as many as some, but definitely over thousands of action figures in my lifetime. And it is always a joy to come across that one figure that really have the oomph and the wow factor. And sadly to say that these days it's less and less. Like um, most of the time when I open an action figure, it's like, okay, that's cool, and then on the shelf it goes, and that's it. Uh, Most figures just don't give me that wow and oomph anymore. But this figure, made by Axie Toys, a little known, pretty much never heard of Chinese company, not tied to any property. It's not Marvel. It's not DC. Uh, it's not Spawn. It's just something they dream up, and it's simply amazing. Okay, now to give you guys an idea, you will see more of the how big this guy is in the size comparison. But he's like 9 inches tall, depending on how you pose him. Really, really thick, and depending on how you pose him, almost like a foot wide. This is a big, chunky figure with loads and loads of accessory, functional removable armor, and modular weapon system, articulated jaw, articulated tail, uh, real cloth garment, real cloth cape with wires built in, real metal chains for the decorations of his armor, real metal posts for connecting some of his armor and weapons together. Yes, it is expensive at 150, anywhere between 150 to 200, but holy mother of God, like handling this figure gave me that shiver like losing my virginity all over again. Okay, maybe not quite that good, but it is really amazing. Uh, I've been playing with this figure on my workstation for a whole week. Now, I'll tell you guys, when I first heard of this figure, saw reviews of this figure, I fully expected to hate it. Why? Because of all these things that will fall off its armor, all these things that you have to attach to its armor, and I just imagine him to be a nightmare to handle. Like I told you guys before, I hate figures that just things fall off of it just because you sneeze. And with something like this, having so many moving parts, I imagine it would be like that. And yeah, those trophies hanging on his chest, they were a little bit like that until I did what I said. I took a pair of needle nose pliers and pinch shot the hook, and now they stay put. Like today, this figure had fallen off the table twice, and other than the helmet, the Triceratops skull on top of his head, nothing came detached. That's amazing when you consider how many things is attached to it. Okay, so I thought I was going to hate it. I ended up loving it. Like this has now become uh, one of my top 10. It's not the top number one figure in my collection, not quite, but it's definitely in the top 10, or even probably even in the top 5. If you ask me which figure in my collection uh, the most impressive or my favorite, this one is probably up there in among the top 5. Of course, now that I handle this one, I feel compelled to go buy other actually toy dinosaurs. They have a couple of other ones. One Carnivores that came out before this one, and then a Ceratosaur that is coming out just as we speak. Now, both of them are cheaper, and probably both of them together add up to about the price of this one, because both of them are a little bit smaller. They are still large figures when you compare them against other action figures, but comparing to Bloodblade here, those two are small. Heck, Bloodblade here, as we'll soon see in size comparison, he make some of the really big figures look small. I match him up against the Hulk, and I match him up against one of those Mythic Legion ogres, which are huge, and he makes them look small. Like he makes both of them seem very slender and lightweight. Like when I first got this guy out of the box, I immediately felt that this is a troll slayer. That this guy have to go up against the Mythic Legion troll, and even though the Mythic Legion trolls are bigger than him, he definitely look close enough to their league to give them a run for their money, and probably with his giant axe and his heavy mace and all the muscles on him, he can probably kill them no problem. Now, before we end the video, let's look at the size comparison slide that I've been talking about, and I'll give you my final words. Thank you for checking out today's video. Perhaps I think the most impressive part about this figure is the sheer size of this guy. I mean, he's supposed to be a 112 figure, go with your 6-inch guy, and he's massive. I mean, in this size comparison, I match him up against some of the largest characters of this scale and size. He makes the Hulk look small. He makes the Mythic Legion Ogre look small. Like, only when we get to Abomination from Diamond Select and a Mythic Legion Troll when he's finally outmatched, and even then, it's not by much. Honestly, I very rarely tell you guys to just go and buy a figure because everyone's taste is different, but this one, do not sleep on it. Go and buy it. You can get it from Big Bad Toy Store or 5K Toys. It's expensive, but totally worth it.